Hey everyone, it is tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Kenya Moore and Kandi Burruss. We have since found out that first Kenya Moore was suspended from RHOA. Now she is not coming back for the Sweet 16 season, and they're giving her grace, in my opinion. They're giving her grace to pretend like the door is still open. But I think because they always, ever since Kenya got married to Mark Daly without letting RHOA know, they always had issues with Kenya Moore. You ever been on a job and they got an issue with you, but they don't have anything to legally fire you for? But what they do is they stand off to the side and they just keep collecting the breadcrumbs. And when they finish collecting and they finally get something where they could legally let you go, that's exactly what they do. And it seems like a zero tolerance policy. You're like, oh my God, other people have done such and this and that and the other. But yeah, in their mind, yeah, they might have. And maybe that was their first offense. But in our mind, this is your 10th or your ninth or your fourth or your whatever. And we're now going to let you go. And I think that is what happened in the case of Kenya Moore. And to fumble a 90K a month salary is like, woo, woo, woo. We can feel sorry for her all we want. We can feel bad. We can say it's wrong. But the thing in life is you have to care about yourself, your money, and your job more than any fan could ever care, because it is you that is going to suffer the consequences if you lose said job and said money. Now, let's get into Kandi Burruss, calling herself holding her friend down. And Kandi is sticking to this theory and this thought process of this is all fair in the name of the game when it comes to housewives. Now, Kandi, you know better than that. You know better than that. And the reason why I say she knows better than that, and the world should know better than that, is because in this world, I don't care who you are, there are a different set of rules. We can say fair, unfair, and that's fine, because it probably is, but they still exist and they are what they are. In this world, men get paid significantly more than women do when it comes to similar professions. I could be a teacher and there could be a male teacher. The male teacher may be making $90,000 a year. I might at best make 75, maybe 80, maybe, right? But when you do the math, at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, that male is going to make more than the female. Hey, take it to the engineering profession. You may get a male engineer that's making, to start out, 150K a year, and you get the female with the same credentials, same internships, same everything. And at best, maybe that female is making $100,000 a year, or maybe even $95,000 a year, because that's how life is. Very unfortunate. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because many people are saying Kenya did nothing different than what happens on other franchises. And I'm not even going to argue with y'all on that. I'll give y'all that. Probably 100% true, right? But you want to know what the difference is? Kenya Moore, look in the mirror. So Kandi Burruss double downs on Kenya Moore defense at the RHOA sex poster stunt. She didn't make anything up. And the reason why Kandi is coming back with that defense of she didn't make anything up, because many people came at Kandi Burruss' neck and they said, Kandi, are you delusional? Are you crazy? You crying foul play with Kenya Moore, but didn't a similar situation happen, with you or Phaedra Parks? And so I guess she's saying because Phaedra Parks made up a whole lie, there's the difference, and that's why Phaedra should suffer and not Kenya Moore. But we'll carry on. Let's hear Kandi speak. Hold on one second.
Things happen on our show. And a lot of people were like, how did you support that? And I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, she didn't make up anything about somebody.
Okay.
She pulled some unfavorable receipts off a line, which may not have been the nicest thing to do. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it was the nicest comeback at someone. But, you know, when the ladies on our shows and on different shows on reality TV, when you say something to someone or you make a threat or you...
So let me pause this for a second. She says she pulled some unfavorable stuff online and showed it, right? But the policy, in case you didn't see my show last night, the policy for NBC Universal, it was read and it said that you can't use pictures, this, that, and the other. And if Kenya Moore didn't read the policy for the job that she worked at, shame on her. They said ignorance of the law is not an excuse from the law. Let's continue. Let's hear Kandi speak.
You come at somebody in a negative way, you do not get to determine how strong the shade or whatever it is that's coming back.
Now, I'm glad Kandi said that. She said if you come at somebody in a negative way, you don't get to determine how strong the person comes back at you. Bingo, Kandi Burruss. When you work for someone else and they have a rule book, an employee handbook, you don't get to tell them how to interpret their rules and their regulations. You don't get to tell them when they can implement them. You don't get to tell them who they can and cannot use them on. You don't. And at the end of the day, we could say said something happened at another show, but that doesn't mean that that person wasn't suspended because you don't know. One thing you will never know about another employee, because a real HR person will never tell you, and they don't have to disclose that information unless they're in court and the court is forcing them to. You don't know if just because you saw me be late 25,000 times, you don't know if they spoke to me or not. You don't know if I was suspended, especially if I didn't tell nobody. You don't know if I'm on my last leg and have my last warning and they told me be late one more time and you're getting fired. You don't know that. So yeah, you may see with your own eyes what happened on another reality show, but you don't know if they suffered any consequences. Maybe they was suspended and it just didn't make breaking news. Now let's continue.
At you. So that is my thing. Like, you know, being on the show for so long now, I've become, you know, so numb to some of this stuff that like people are like, that was so low. And I'm like, really? But we've seen Kenya walk into somebody else's event with a whole band before. Like, we've seen her walk into a nice event with butt pads on. With a, you know,
she brought a cookie dress. Lady. What?
Yes, like so I'm like, when did the rules become she had to be nice about it? So I was just like, you know, guys, I can't really get with, you know, the hateration and the fact that, you know, something similar has happened on one of the other shows. I'm just like,
you know, everybody use this word hate so loosely, the hateration. Because you call someone's behavior out, now you're hating. No, you're just making, just like Kandi has an opinion on the left side, people have an opinion on the right side. And why is their opinion considered hate? The Kandi's opinion could be considered hate against Britney. I mean, I don't get the people using hateration so loosely. I don't hate Kenya Moore. I actually feel bad for her. And I feel even more bad that she doesn't have people on her side and in her corner that are true friends that say, girl, you went too far. Let's see how we can get in recovery mode. But if I had that girlfriend and Kenya told me ahead of time that that was her plan on what she was about to do, I'd be like, whoa. You don't want to do that. We're not going to do that. We can get this girl back another way. And especially because for the most part, it seems like with reality TV shows, when they bring these newbies on, half of them don't make it to the next season. I want to say Dr. Alicia and her husband from Married to Medicine, they're not coming back for another season. Half of these newbies don't last to the next season. Why would you be the queen of the show on your throne and you're going to step down and get all crazy in the mud with the peasants? I will let you down there and go ahead and talk about me all day long. I'm going to go over here to Starbucks while you're talking about me. While you carrying on, helping make a good show, and I'm just kicking back. Go ahead, act the fool. I don't give a darn. I'm going to still collect my check, and without breaking any HR rules. Let's hear Kandi. I'm gonna let her finish speaking.
You know, she's not reinventing the wheel. It wasn't nice, but it was out there.
Right. Have you been able to touch base with Kenya? How is she doing amid the suspension? Does she feel like she might
check, I'm not here to confirm or deny or whatever what they decided to do as far as how the network handled the situation. But I definitely have been reaching out to her, checking on her, making sure she's okay. You know what I mean? Of course she hates that I'm not there to support her. I hate I'm not there to support her. Well, not really. I actually am kind of glad I'm not there, but I still want to support her. But I think she always feels that nobody ever. She said this before. She feels like nobody ever sticks up for her. And I get it. Like, I get what everybody's saying, but she did this, and I get it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, everybody involved has said or done something that wasn't cool.
Right. Now, have you run into any of the new girls, Kelly, Brittany, or Angela, in town? Do you know any of them? Do you have any thoughts?
I don't know any of them personally. Don Juan, he has also worked with Kelly. So okay. I know of her, but we haven't had a chance to like build a relationship or anything like that. Like, she seems like, she's cool. And Don Juan says she's super cool. So, to me, if he says she's cool, then I'm assuming she's cool.
All right, Kandi. So Kandi Burruss is doubling down on her defense of Kenya Moore. Following Moore's suspension and subsequent firing from the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 for allegedly sharing explicit images of a new castmate, Burruss tells Page 6 virtual reality podcast why she is extending grace to the former Miss USA. The show is wild, right? We had some crazy things happen on our show. Burruss, who departed the unscripted series this year following 14 consecutive seasons, says while promoting her hydroxycut partnership. And a lot of people are like, how can you support that? And I'm like, at the end of the day, she didn't make up anything about somebody. The Escape Singer 48 continues. Now she pulls some unfavorable receipts offline, which may have not been the nicest thing to do. Nicest thing to do. As Page 6 exclusively reported, more shocked party attendees at her salon grand opening earlier this month with posters of Bravo rookie Brittany Edie allegedly performing oral sex. Bravo cameras were rolling at the cast event, where Moore unveiled X-rated photos. Edie, 36, was not present for the display. An insider insisted to us that the pitch in question were readily accessible online and went on to claim that Edie had made threats to Moore, 53, using the word GUN before the event. However, production source told us at no time was Kenya ever threatened with a weapon, nor was there ever a weapon present during the course of production. Page 6 exclusively stated that Moore was subsequently suspended from filming. On Tuesday, we confirmed that she is not coming back for the remainder of season 16. Now, I do wonder if they're going to show whatever she filmed prior to that. And I wonder how they're going to weave this in and explain her absence from the rest of the season. After the drama made waves on the internet, Moore wrote via Instagram story, "Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. The truth always comes to light." And she is right. The truth came to light. They fired her. Okay, the truth came to light. So thanks, Kenya, for that. The Kenya Moore hair care founder then asserted in an X post that she would never engage in revenge porn and has never distributed private images or footage of anyone, nor solicited images owned by others to use to threaten or blackmail. Burruss, who has been in touch with Moore in the wake of the chaos, hints that the latter was provoked and emphasized that cast members shouldn't expect to have control over one's response to an on-camera conflict. And just like no cast members should think that they're going to have control on how the network responds to your actions, right? The ladies on our show and on different reality TV, when you have something to say to someone or you make a threat, you come at somebody in a negative way. You don't get to determine how strong the shade or whatever that is coming back at you. So that is my thing, she states. I'm like, when did the rules become she had to be nice about it? So I can't really get with the hateration. Nobody's hating. According to Burruss, Moore seems okay, even as she's shut out from season 16 production. Of course, she hates that I'm not there to support her. I hate that I'm not there to support her, she says before quipping. Well, not really. I'm actually kind of glad I'm not there, but I still want to support her. Last week, Burruss says on the Young Jock and the Street Morning Takeover radio show that she didn't like that Moore had been barred from shooting RHOA. I know a lot of people are like, she shouldn't have done that, but this is Housewives, she stated. Why y'all all of a sudden have such an issue with somebody doing something crazy to somebody? RHOA is returning for both Atlanta vets and fresh faces from the Big A. The cast features returning stars Portia Williams, Drew Sidora, longtime friend of the cast, Shamia Morton is picking up a peach for the first time, while Edie, author Kelly Farrell, and real estate mogul Angela Oakley will be making their debuts as housewives. Bravo has yet to announce the premiere date, but I heard the premiere date wasn't supposed to be to 2025 anyway. We'll stay connected to this story. Listen, this too shall pass. So Kenya Moore will definitely get past this, but do I think right now that it's messy, it's sad, especially because she got Brooklyn to take care of, including herself. She has now the salon in her own personal home. Is it sad? It is sad. But maybe while she's not filming, she can focus on getting people in that salon and promoting the heck out of her hair care line. I would get every influencer that I could possibly can that has a high level following, and I would send them my hair care product. And everybody's into this growth oil now. Like if you have oil to grow someone's hair, it promises to grow people's hair. The people are buying it in the droves. So get someone that has no hair, send them your hair care oil if you have one that will grow hair, and tell them to track their progress and try to get your stuff out there that way. Anyway, I wish Kenya Moore the best. I'm definitely not a hater. And again, I think people use that word too loosely. Anyway, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. What do you think about, Kandi Burruss doubling down, saying, Kenya was done dirty? And what do you think about Kenya being blocked from Sweet 16 production? Chat with me, guys. I will chat back. Thanks for watching. Not sure if Portia, Drew, and Shamia are going to be able to pull this thing off. And I named those three only because they seem to be the ones that are now the staples of the show, where all the other ladies are brand new. At least Shamia has been around as a friend, but you got our staples now, or Drew. And no disrespect, Drew has never been a strong staple on the show. You got Shamia, where she's new, she's used to being a friend of, and then you got Portia coming back, who can't film a thing because Simon is blocking everything and anything he can. I think Simon goes to sleep and pray that he can wake up and have something else to nudge Portia about in court. Anyway, guys, chat with me. I will chat back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.